Yeah, moving on to snatching now. I'll be snatching a nose first. We want that perfect tiny nose. So I went on with a beauty foam, and then I used normal powder this time around. I didn't use a certain powder, but I used a shade lighter than her skin. So I'll be snatching her nose and then cheekbone. Now after snatching, how the next thing is the brows. So I added the primer, and then I went into my powder palette and then dabbed on her hair. Yeah, no, the eyebrow was already carved right from start, so I just go about priming and then prepping and adding powder on the eyebrow. So yeah, as usual, I'll be going on with my Davis pencil. Yeah, but this time around I would be going into just I'll be using one pencil, just one pencil, and I'm not using the darkest shade that I have. Yeah, I'm using a light shade. I think I have two shades, that's 3 and 18. But yeah, I'll be using, but now right now I cannot really remember the darker shade. I guess 3 is darker, so I'm using 18. And then I just went on with her brows. When it comes to a detailed kind of brow, that'll be another tutorial entirely. But there's something we call a brow bone. I'll just try to explain. So when you are lining your brow, you come down on your brow bone up, and then come down your brow bone down too. You come down your brow bone down first, then you come down your brow bone up to meet the brows. And then yeah, I was just trying to get my own perfect kind of brows. Not so when you know your way around drawing brows, you'll be very very good with it, and then you don't have to follow your client's eyebrow for you to get a perfect brows. All right. So yeah, it was just me trying to create what I wanted, the kind of brows I wanted. I didn't want a full one. I just wanted a small and moderate kind of brows. All right, and there I have it. So I just went in to fill a bit with my pencil, and that's all about the brows. I'll be doing the second side now too. So the same thing I did in the first side is what I'll be doing here too. Yeah, note that I'm not like resting my hand on my pencil. I'm not at all. So it's like I'm trying to trace out and I'm trying to sketch. So I'm not really drawing, and I'm not filling in with the pencil. I'm just trying to sketch. So it's just light. So the more you press, the more it gets darker, and I don't want a very dark eyebrow, so I'm just doing it in a light way. Moving on to the concealer now, I'll be using 2 shades of concealer, a dark shade and a light shade. And note, the dark is a perfect shade, while the light is a shade lighter than her, to just bring out the highlight very well, and then highlight the brows much too. Like I would like it in an outstanding manner to make it come out more. So yeah, I'm using the light one first, the light shade of concealer first, then I'll be using the dark shade for the outer corner and the inner corner of our brows. And say I'm using a kind of dark shade. This is a shade now, a skin shade now. So because I did foundation first, so I don't want any demarcations and I don't want it to look like I'm placing, so I really want to blend it in well. So that's why I'm using a kind of dark shade at the outer corner, inner corner, so I'll be able to blend my way in well and there will be no demarcations. So that's the main reason why we're using 2 shades of concealer. Can you see the blended part? Can you see how you can't see any demarcation? And then just blend and you are good to go. Really, just blend and blend and blend. Perfect. Since I got a perfect lining, I don't really need to do more of highlighting. I don't really need to highlight. I just need to trace out what I lined. So that's perfect for me. No stress. So when you line perfectly, you know that you don't really need to stress yourself in the highlighting part. But while some, when they know that they did not line well, they use the highlighter as the concealer to correct their mistakes. Alright, so I'll just be doing the same thing over here too, and that's all. So since I've gotten the perfect brow I want, I'll just move to the upper part of the brows and then highlight the upper part, this time around with the dark shade I use for the outer corner. That means a perfect shade. So I'll just be doing that and then highlighting the upper part. And note, I didn't get to the front because the concealer is already there and I don't want to this kind of brow I want to achieve. I don't want it to have that like the demarcation or probably line here looking like a line, but I want it to look as natural as possible. Alright, so that's the reason why I didn't start my brows from the beginning of the brow. But you can always start from the beginning to get that straight lined brow. But yeah, that's not what I want to achieve. And now I'll just blend and blend and blend and blend. Yeah, look at it. So going on to the blending, I just dabbed on her skin to just make it thinking and make it blending with the foundation that was already there. Yeah, blending it out. For ash lines, no, we don't want any ash lines. Moving on to the next thing, that's the eyeshadow. I went in with my primer first. Yeah, and note, I know I was blending. I blended before placing the primer on it. So yes, we're just placing the primer on it for what's it called? For making the eyeshadow pop out more. You can actually place it on the primer, but this is for making the eyeshadow more defined. Alright, that's the use of primer. Just make it more defined and not make it break on time, and then not make it sweaty. That's the work of the primer. And yeah, before this I was supposed to bake. Now I already set with Osha's palette, but now I'm supposed to bake, but it kind of skipped my mind. I don't know why. I've never done that before, but when I noticed the fall of my eyeshadow on the skin, I went back to my baking powder and then I baked. So yeah, it's just me doing the eyeshadow, and then this is the smoky part. And note, I was not just placing, I was blending too. So I want a very, very light smoky I don't want a very dark one, so I went into a dark brown shade and I was just placing it. Now I went into a shade lighter than the dark brown for my transition. This eyeshadow is another tutorial on its own. Not now, and probably if I have another paid tutorial, but not now. We'll be having a detailed tutorial on that. But if you want a detailed tutorial on everything I just showed you, I'm here just I'm EDM just DM me and we'll talk about how to get you perfect. Still on the transition. The transition is just like a line between your smoky, your eyeshadow, and then if you're not just making the demarcation, just like, okay, this is the eyeshadow, or putting the eyeshadow wherever your primer is. So it's just for blending purpose. This was when I noticed the fall when I went on with my baking powder to bake, because literally the eyeshadow is meant to just fall out on the baking powder, not on the skin. So we don't have any glittered kind of thing on the highlighting areas. So I'm literally just baking my highlighting areas, and that's all. Now I'm going back to my eyeshadow. I'm using pigmented eyeshadow. The last time I used the powder, then I had the pigment, but this time around I'm using a pigmented eyeshadow. And I want a nude look, not too loud and not too mild. Yeah. So here's me blending the main eyeshadow and the smoky together. We don't want any demarcations as usual. So blend all the way. Oh, I'm loving the high. So yeah, I'm blending together perfect. See, there's a demarcation on it right now, but here I'm going to go in and then blend it. Wow, this is it. See that there's no demarcation again now. You want to give your client a perfect, wow, there should be no ash line, there should be no demarcations. Alright, so yeah, I got my perfect eyeshadow. I want a light eyeshadow this time around. I'm so sorry. I blend well. I blend like no man's business. When I see that something is not perfect to my liking, I still go in. I want that perfect job, and I think that's what has kept me going right from start. So always aim for that perfect work. Yeah, I did the liner off camera and the eyelash off camera. The last time I think I showed you how I lined, so this will be too much of detail if I show you again. So yeah, I'm cleaning her lip. I moisturize her lip. I used Vaseline to moisturize her. You know, some has a kind of breaky kind of leak. I told you the last time when I did on the first model. So yes, that's all for now.